Hello beautiful bag lovers and scent gourmands. Welcome back to my channel. It's Trina. Today I have to share with you a lovely assortment of goodies from Stella McCartney. I'll talk about some of her fragrances at the end of the video, but first I'm going to share with you an unboxing of a new Falabella number I picked up actually quite a while ago, and the unboxing is from quite a while ago too. I've just been holding off to share it with you, and now because it's a more season appropriate time, let's get to it. Ha ha ha! Oh my God, this is beautiful! Oh, Stella, my Bella, look at what you've done here. Oh dear me, this is just beautiful. It's in mint condition, you guys. Oh, I think that the bag hag has definitely scored on this piece. It is seriously, the seller was not lying. This bag has never been used. It's in perfect condition. Look at this. Oh, I can't wait to use this, you guys. It's not the season. This is more of a winter bag. And I love this print. Oh, stunning. And look at this. It also comes with a little pouch that's detachable. Yes, it is detachable. Got a little hook here. And it even has a little pocket in the side to put one's phone, I imagine. So there is some compartmentalization here. You've got a big zippered pocket on the side. This is from the 2019 collection, I believe. You can't get it anymore, but oh, I'm so excited about this piece. Yes, here she is. As you might know from my other videos, I am a fan of this houndstooth print. This bag I've only used about a dozen times so far. I've used it obviously once it cooled down a little bit here, and I think moving forward I'm going to be using this a lot more because it is furry and sort of wintry appropriate. Now, oh wait, there's a plane coming. Okay, it's passed. All right, so as you guys know, I'm a big fan of Stella McCartney, and I had a couple other of her bags. One of them I sold. It's the fold over clutch, the crossbody number. Wasn't practical for me, but I also have this one here, and this is actually one of my most complimented and most used bags. I never thought it would be. I heard a lot of negative comments about on social media about the chains being heavy and clanky, and that is true, but I'm making it work for me because I just love this bag. I love everything Stella stands for, and I love this design, and it's held up quite strong. Whoever thinks that vegan leather, I hate that term, whoever thinks that this kind of thing can't endure, I think is wrong. This is pretty durable stuff, especially if you get it in a black color. It's not going to stain. I think some of the lighter colors will stain, like anything, any material. But this is held up pretty good, and you'll notice that it's pretty structured at the moment. That's normally not what it's like. I have put a, what's it called? Bag organizer in here, and you all know how I love bag organizers. I've done a whole video on it, and indeed I've done an in-depth video of this bag here, which I'll post somewhere below or up in the top part of the section of the video. So because I've been through so much depth of this bag before, rather than rehash that with the new bag, I'll just talk about some of the differences. So first of all, this bigger bag is actually not heavier than this one. It actually feels lighter, and that's because the weight is more distributed. The reason why it's the same or lighter to me is because it doesn't have this extra chain. So this Falabella fold over clutch type, well, it's not a fold over clutch, it's a tote bag essentially, right? She has I think she has 4 sizes now. This one is the largest one. and it does not come with an extra strap. You can put this through your armpit area, you know, and hold it as a shoulder bag, but I have these daikon arms, giant arms, and they don't, you know, the bottom part goes right up to my armpit, so I don't like that look so much. So I generally do use it more as a tote, although in a dire situation I can put it on my shoulders. And it fits, you know, if it's a computer, a smaller computer, A4 size paper, so it genuinely is a tote. It fits a lot of stuff. And I love it. And because it's fur, I don't think it's going to wear over time as well as this one will. And because it's printed, it's not as versatile either. I did know that going into it. This one here, because it has that extra strap here, it's only good for shoulders. You can let it hang down and it does look quite nice. So it's got a few different looks to it basically. It's a little more versatile in that way, but not as big, of course. But I do like it. And then there's a smaller one that she sells. It's more of, you could use it as a crossbody if you're not as tall as I am. And it's a low hanging, smaller bag with a longer chain. And she also has a mini version, and you know how I feel about minis. Well, actually, you might not. I love them in theory, but in practice, they never work out for me. So I'm gonna try and stay away from the smaller bags from now on and stick with things that are more practical, I think. But anyway, so there's 3 or 4 main sizes in the Falabella tote, and I do recommend them. I think they're wonderful, especially secondhand. They don't tend to hold their value, so get them secondhand. You know, it's not Chanel, but this is designer. It is luxury quality. Excellent little bag. So I'm very pleased with my new giant tote. It's not so new anymore. I have used it a while, but it's new to this channel. So we'll see. This one, I do picture me eventually selling this. Because it's just not as practical, but I'm going to use it and enjoy it as much as I can. So this giant tote can also be used as a fold-over clutch. Because it's got a bag insert in it right now, it can keep its shape and I can carry it from here, let the chains hang, and it looks great. It really looks sharp, but most of the time I'll just carry it as a tote. And I do definitely recommend a bag insert for this one, because if you don't, it ends up folding on itself. It's just too floppy. I don't like the look. So I put the bag insert in, and the one I put in was one I bought for this bag here. This is the Alma Classic. It's not the BB size, I think it's the PM size classic one. And I got it for this, it's in a burgundy color, but it's too tall for this bag, and I thought I'd eventually find a bag that it works for, and I have, so that's great news. And the bag insert, of course, adds functionality to the inside. It gives more compartmentalization and all that, and also prevents that folding on itself problem, so very pleased. Okay, so while I'm a big fan of Stella McCartney's fashion, especially her Falabella models of bags, I cannot say with all honesty that I'm equally impressed with her fragrances. Hey, Stella! Yes, her fragrances are very wearable, very pleasant, but I wouldn't go out of my way to purchase them at full price. Indeed, I got these secondhand, and I'm not regretting that at all because I get to experience them, share them with you, and yeah, I will wear them, but I'll probably pass them on because I have so many other fragrances that I prefer more than these. But without further ado, let's get to reviewing these because they might be something that appeal more to you than me. Okay, my lovelies, I have returned to the studio room to continue filming this because it got dark. I had a little bit of a visit from a friend and it took the whole afternoon. So we've lost the natural light. So here I am back, and we're gonna talk about, first of all, Stella's key signature fragrance first, and that is the self-titled Stella. So Stella McCartney, this is the first self-titled fragrance launched in 2003. This is a pretty ugly bottle, so I'll give you a close-up of some picture I find somewhere. It was launched in 2003, but actually it was reformulated in 2014. But seeing as the seller of this one told me she bought it over a decade ago, I think that this is the original, which is probably a good thing. Yes, my lovelies, all 3 of the Stella McCartney fragrances I have to share with you today were indeed also procured from my choice of thrifting platforms here in Japan, which is Mercari, or Mercari probably in English. This Japanese website is also available in the UK and the US, but with completely different markets and presumably different policies as well. Anyway, let's spray this stuff. Yes, this is Stella's first fragrance, and I believe the nose behind it is Jacques Cavallier. And here are the notes. It's pretty simple, and to be honest, this one is just, it's a syrupy tart rose jam stirred into some orange marmalade, really. It's not particularly powdery, and it isn't particularly complex, as you saw with the notes. The rose in it, it's a little bit sharp, a little bit unnatural, but that's not a bad thing. It's crisp and it's bright too. And what I like about this is the fact that it doesn't have any of the soapiness you can sometimes get from rose fragrances. I like that it smells both old world and modern at the same time. It's not too sweet at all, and it's not too frilly, so it's a good everyday scent. And if you're a rose fan, you'll probably enjoy this. It's laid back, it's elegant, it's clean, it's office safe. But this fragrance does have lackluster projection and sillage. I can get up to 6 hours on it, but the last 2 are pretty faded. Now, obviously, I haven't tried the reformulation, assuming this is not it. And the reformulation has its critics, as is usual with a lot of them. Some say the newer one has less amber, more citrus, and even less longevity and less depth, but I don't know. Overall, for me personally, this is not worth paying full price for, I'm afraid. It's pleasant enough, but there's nothing groundbreaking about it. Also, I must admit that I prefer rose when paired with something a little heavier and more substantial, like oud or some sort of resinous goo. Maybe I'd give this a 3 out of 5 if I had to rate it. Maybe too generous even, 2.5. I could easily see this going to the curtains too if I get sick of it and I can't manage to give it away, I'm afraid. I'm just not a floral person too. I think that's something to do with it. So don't, I mean, perfume reviews are so tough because it depends on what you like, right? But for me, florals overall, nah. And unfortunately, all of Stella's fragrances are pretty floral type things. Okay, next here is Stella Pop. This is a floral woody musk scent released in 2016 and created by, I don't know, I didn't take notes on that. I'll comment below if I can, and if it's not there, then please you comment if you know. So here are the notes with this one. Ooh, that came out. Whew. Okay, so let me read the marketing spiel on this one. Let me find it. I got it on my phone here. Okay, yes. Pop is a spirit. It's about celebrating that exciting time when you're coming into your own. It's about freedom and starting your life away from judgments or labels. So it sounds like it's talking about very young people here, and I think that's appropriate for this scent. And actually, here's a video that I'll run, and Grimes is in it. And yeah, it's obviously relaying a very fresh and edgy appeal, but I don't think this is an edgy scent. It's very young and fresh, but it's not edgy. There's nothing dislikable here. It's good for warm and hot weather, office appropriate, soft sillage, average projection, maybe less than 5 fingers worth of wear hours, but maybe a little more in summer. Much as the mention of the tomato leaf intrigued me. Yeah, right now I'm really not getting a so-called tomato leaf or anything red, juicy, or maybe a little green. But I think I did notice a few months earlier in the heat when I got this. Yeah, it's a little different than it feels now because it is cold now. But in the end, I don't think tomato leaf was added to make it so unique. I think it just adds enough green to balance out the sweetness and give it more, like, it's got a very watery feel to it. So I like this, but the performance is crap. I do get some synthetic notes in this. I feel that there's definitely some ISO Super E in here, to be sure. It's got a transparency about it. And there's a little bit of a plastic Barbie doll head vibe. Yeah, it's sweet, but it's not syrupy, and it still screams teenager. I think that must be, there's some frangipani in there. That somehow reminds me of teenagers. I don't know. Now, so Grimes is Canadian singer Claire Elise Boucher. She's a pop singer, very elfish-like. And unfortunately for me, being in Japan, I don't know what's new and popular these days. I stay in my own little bubble, and I'm a middle-aged woman, so I don't follow pop so much, pop rock and stuff. But apparently I do know enough to know that Grimes is marrying, or has married, or is just hooked up with Elon Musk, and is having or has had his baby. Good for them. Great, but yeah, it's just, yeah, forget the cynic in me, but Elon Musk, much as I admire his work more than her work, I'm just, you know, very negative in my view on their marriage. I think he's going to either dump her for a newer model, as he has done in the past, or vice versa. Maybe she will get sick of all his apparently draconian rules. Very interesting to watch what's going on with lifestyles of the rich and famous, you know. But anyway, back to this fragrance. Okay, it's definitely not a scrubber, so it's not a 0. It's not offensive, but it's just a 2 out of 5 for me. It's not memorable and it doesn't perform. Okie dokie, and the last one I have here is the one I like the least. This is the Eau de Toilette version, I think, of Stella. There's a few flankers for Stella's original scent, this being maybe, well, is it a flanker? I guess so. Yeah, it's essentially the same as the main one. It's not as simple in the notes, which I'll show you now. But as you can see from the notes, it's rosed down. They've taken out some of the rosiness, especially the oil, so you don't get that hard rose smell. But they've added freesia, which is really fresh and nice. It's a pleasant scent, but honestly, this performs the worst of all 3 of them, and there's nothing exciting about it. It's more like for a fragrance for people who don't really like scent, I think, and who just need something to smell fresh. I'm really sorry, it's a harsh review, but this gets a 1 for me. I'm sorry. C'est la vie. Okay, let me spray a bit more of this. Yeah, it's got a very watery, ethereal vibe to it. Very fresh. It's like you've got some, it's lemon, but not strong or sharp. It's a very soft, watery lemon, and then maybe a bit of florals. You get the freesia, definitely. The rose is not there, but it's sort of underneath the surface. And you smell, you smell like, it's like you smell the branches of the plant. So it's very natural, and my feeling with this is that Stella's probably not going to be doing any animal testing on these scents, which is a very good thing. So nothing in China, she probably doesn't sell them there either. Probably the ingredients too are pretty healthy, you know. It's in matching with her brand, I think. So in that sense, if you like natural, fresh, foresty, floral type scents, this might be a brand that you will like. And you know, I wouldn't pay full price for them. I'd get them secondhand. I didn't pay much for these at all. And then, you know, like this little guy, maybe you'll use it up in a week, but, or less, you know, I'd have to keep spraying it if you care about how you smell, you'd have to keep spraying it for quite a bit. But it's not terrible. I still just give it a 1 though. I'm sorry. I cannot give good grades to a fragrance that doesn't perform. Sorry, Stella, but I love your Falabella. Okay, that's it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video and the rest of your holidays, winter holidays, if you have them and celebrate them. We'll see you in the next round. Bag and Frag Hag, Scent Gourmand, signing out. Mwah.